Hello, warriors! We are live! How are you today? Yes, you saw the title. Would you believe dinosaurs in the Bible? Well, they are, or at least in my never so humble opinion. Um, it is a great day to be alive, folks. Just because it is. I have no reason to say it, just other than it is. Because it is what it is, and it is what it is. So I guess we will get on with this and see what we can see. We are in Job today, folks. You know a bit of the story of Job. Just a recap. I'm not sure. Summarize what's gone on before. Job is being tested, basically. Will he, give in to what Satan would want, although he doesn't know he's being tested? Will he curse God and die, as his wife said? Or will he stay faithful to God? No, Satan claims that he's only faithful because you give him everything. You've given him life on a silver platter. If you take all that away, he won't serve you. He will call you down. And God says, I don't be thinking so, Mojo. I don't be thinking so, Lucifer. So then begins the tale. And Job slowly loses everything. He, for his time, he was rolling in it, man, rolling in it. And then, well, gone. And then some friends stopped by, and well, depending on who you listen to, I get a different bit of a take on it. But the friends aren't much of a help, anyways. Let's put it that way. And then, throughout this, he's saying, I want to talk face to face. Well, his friends say what they have to say. He's like, I don't think so. And finally, God does show up, and he starts asking him some rhetorical questions. So, based on that, if I asked you, have you ever seen, well, almost, if I knew you had seen a flower and asked, are roses red? It's a rhetorical question. Of course, you know they're red. You don't ask people rhetorical questions about stuff they don't know or that they haven't seen. I knew you had never seen a rose and I asked you if roses are red, and you're like, how the heck should I know? I've never seen a rose. Right? So, hold on. Mom, did you call Dave yet? Call him. I said call him right back. Or we'd call him right back after finding out. And I'm live streaming now. Well, sorry about that. Always drama. Always drama. So, I just want to get that out of the way. That you don't ask people rhetorical questions about stuff they don't know about. Because then it's like, what's the sense in asking it? So that said, I may get my commentary going during it. I don't this. Okay, so we are going to share the screen so we can read it. We're going Job chapter 41. Okay, so we're starting at verse 15 here. And here is the rhetorical, well, there was rhetorical questions about other stuff, but here's some rhetorical question right here. Look at Behemoth, which I made along with you, and feeds on grass like an ox. Okay, so let's face it. Feeds on grass like an ox. So just eats grass like an ox. So it can't be an ox. What strength it has in its loin, what power it has in the muscles of its belly. In other words, this thing has a belly that's got some muscles, man. You do not want to mess with this thing. It is strong. Its tail sways like a cedar. Okay, people, cedar tree. Now, I've seen commentaries on in different Bibles trying to say that this behemoth is like a hippo, an elephant, and all that. But I don't know whether you've seen a hippo's tail or an elephant's tail. It ain't exactly looking like a cedar tree to me. So there is no way that this animal is a hippo or a thing. Even in, I think I've seen crocodile. Maybe that's for the next one, Leviathan. But again, still, is this thing a tail on a crocodile like a cedar tree? I don't think so. Okay. Oh, what else was I thinking about this? What do you know that has a tail like a cedar tree? Maybe a brontosaurus or brachiosaurus, as I think it's now called. That thing has a tail like a cedar tree. So this to me is, as we go through this, it'll even seem more and more like a brachiosaurus or something as big as that. Okay, anyways, the sinews on its thighs are close knit. I have no idea what sinews are or sinews, whatever. You can look it up, but I think it's scales or something like that. In other words, something close knit is you're not going to fit too much in between. Its bones are tubes of bronze. Now, bronze not easily bent unless under fire. So this thing, you're not going to be. You hit it, you're not going to want to hit it with your bare hand. You're going to. Oh! Its limbs are like rods of iron. I know the elephant and that have thing, but the more and more this stuff is sounding like a dinosaur, as we call them. Now, also, you got to remember when the Bible was written. Well, obviously, they did not have dinosaurs when the Bible. Well, they had dinosaurs. The word dinosaur was not thought of. The word dinosaur was only came up like 200 years ago. When as it was translated into English, like 400 years ago. So, in other words, 200 years before the word dinosaur was made up. You can't have the word dinosaur in the Bible in a book that's 200 years before it. And there's a range of thought, and I somewhat agree, that dinosaurs, before it was made up, the word dinosaur, would have most likely been called dragons, because a lot of dragons do fit the description of different dinosaurs. Maybe not all dragons, but some do. And, well, anyways, I'm going to go on. It ranks first among the works of God. So this is the biggest, baddest, the biggest creature of the bunch. Yeah, And I don't know about you, but a rhino, not a hippo or elephant do not seem to be the biggest animal God's ever made. In other words, yet its maker can approach it. Yet its maker can approach it with his sword. The hills bring it their produce, and the wild animals play nearby. Under the lotus plants, it lies hidden among the reeds in the marsh. Well, I'm not sure what a lotus plant looks like, but I think I've heard those are probably supposed to be pretty big. And if you go in enough water, yeah, you're going to get concealed a bit, depending on how deep it is. The lotus conceals it in its shadows. The poplars by the stream surround it. The raging river does not alarm it. Um, a raging river does not alarm this animal? Could you imagine a raging river not messing with unless you recognize the number, don't answer it. Um yeah, well, not alarming. I think a raging river would affect an elephant. It's hard to say whether it would affect a hippo. I think they're more in pools or lakes or some sort of ponds in the at oases in the desert, but I could be wrong. I don't know a lot about hippos. It's secure. It is secure. Though the Jordan should surge against its mouth. In other words, this thing can just put its mouth down and while it's raging, just drink and not be affected by the raging water or the water as it streams. It's not affected as it puts its mouth down to take a drink while it's raging. It's secure that it's not nothing's happening. Can anyone capture it by the eyes or trap it and pierce its nose? In other words, this is saying no. I know people have captured hippos. I know people have captured elephants, piercing a elephant's nose. Well, that's not. Can you pierce it? Yeah. Would you want to? I don't think so. And lead it around that way? I don't think for a hippo either. And I just keep going back to these because these are what the commentaries have said in the past for the Bible. So, again, this animal more to me describes a dinosaur. Just and if you read it in the King James, it even oh man, it's even better. You know what? Maybe that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna switch up here. Let's see. Normally, I like to keep it simple and easy. So, lo, his loins. Behold, now, behemoth, which I made with thee, he eateth the grass as an ox. Lo, now his strength is in his loins, and the force is in his navel of his belly. He moveth his tail like a cedar. The sinews of his stones are wrapped together. His bones are strong pieces of brass, and the bones are like bars of iron. He is chief of the ways of God, that he that made him can make him a sword to approach unto him. Surely the mountains bring him forth food, where all the beasts of the field play. He lieth under the shady trees. It is covert in the covert of the reed and fens. The shady trees cover him with their shadow. So they just said shady trees. They didn't say lotus in this, so it could be a very big tree, you know. There are some big trees around. Um, the willows of the brook compass about him. Behold, he drinketh up a river and hateth not. This is way better than the NIV. He drinks up a river. You know any animal that just drinks up a river? He trusteth that the Jordan, he trusteth that he can draw up the Jordan in his mouth. In other words, he's just taking the whole darn river into his mouth. Wow, awesome. He taketh it with his eyes. His nose pierces not snares. In other words, you're not going to snare this guy's nose. And I think now we go on to the next one. And next, quote unquote, we get going on to from Behemoth to Leviathan. Canst thou draw a Leviathan out a Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord, and which thou lettest down? Can thou put a hook in his nose, or bore his jaw with a thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto you? In other words, this thing this thing is anything but quiet. Is he gonna bow down and worship you? No freaking way. You're not gonna be able to put a hook in his nose or bore his jaw with some sort of thorn. This creature is something you don't want to play around with. Not that you really want to play around with a elephant or a hippo, but you know, at least elephants we have trained. So you know, this thing is not no elephant. You can make an elephant give subjective to you. They do it in circuses and stuff. Will he make a covenant with thee? Will thou take him for a servant forever? In other words, you might get him under your wing for a bit, but he isn't going to stay there. Wilt thou play with him as a bird? You know, a little bird play with him. In other words, you ain't playing with this thing like you would a Boyd. Otherwise, you're probably going to be in trouble. Or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? In other words, you ain't going to be binding this guy. Not too easy. Thou shalt. What happened? Uh, shall thy companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? In other words, you ain't capturing this thing and killing it for food. I don't know where they are anymore, the Leviathan, but we can practically capture everything on this earth and make a banquet out of it and part it up among merchants to sell the other parts of it. Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? In other words, you aren't putting harpoons in this thing. You aren't putting spears or harpoons in this thing. It's got that thick of a skin that you can't do it. Lay a hand upon him. Remember the battle. Do no more. In other words, if you come away alive from touching this thing, you're going to learn, I don't do that ever again. Now, behold, the hope of him is in vain. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? In other words, you see this thing, you're going to be pooping your pants. Um, I know I'm not very scared of just seeing a elephant, even a hippo. As long as you don't bother them, they don't bother you. I wouldn't be scared. This thing might bother you even if you don't bother it. Just for getting in its view. None is so fierce that they dare stir him up. Who is able to stand before me? Okay, well, that just goes on to other. I can't say what this one is here. Oh, no, this isn't done. Sorry. Who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whosoever is under the whole of heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can with his double bridle? Or who can come to him with a double bridle? In other words, you are not putting nothing in a bridle like you would a horse to get to be able to ride this thing. It just ain't happening. Who can open the doors of his faith? In other words, open his mouth. You can't open this thing's mouth. You know, we can do that to elephants, and I'm not sure about hippos. I think we can even do it for hippos. Especially you see it in maybe a zoo for hippo. Um, his teeth are terrible roundabout. In other words, this thing has teeth. You are not gonna want its teeth. See its teeth. They're gonna they can hurt you. His scales are his pride. Shut up together as with a close seal. One is so near to the other that no air can come between them. Wow. Okay, first of all, he has scales. Do you know? Well, it's hard to say what this one is. This one, I'm not sure what they've said in the past for it offhand. So, but are there any animals that have air scales so close together that no air gets between them? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I'm not, but I don't know all my animals. They are joined one to another. They stick together that they cannot be sundered. I'm not sure what that means exactly. By his nestling, a light does shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Well, this doesn't sound like any animal I know of. Light does shine. In other words, not sure what that means exactly. I should probably go back. I'm going to go back to the NIV and see whether. But I'm going to get through this first. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Okay. You know of any animals that can send forth fire? Another breathe fire? Fire breathing dragon? Out of his nostrils goes smoke, so that as out of seeing the seething of a pot of cauldron. In other words, this thing's got a lot of smoke coming out of it too. This was real, folks. God's not going to bring forth this sort of stuff. Job has seen this. Otherwise, what, as I was saying earlier, if he hadn't seen this stuff, why would he even bring it up to him? Why would I say, out of his mouth go burning lamps, and the sparks of fire leap out to Job? Job would say, I have no idea what you're talking about if he had never seen this animal, a leviathan. It would mean nothing to him. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm themselves and cannot be moved. So you're not going to be moving his scales, you know. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of nether millstone. So I guess somebody somehow had seen one dead or whatever, and he knew this. Hello to whomever's come in. Um, Firm as a stone. So somehow they had seen a dead one, maybe died, and somebody came across it. The heart of this thing is like feels. You hit it, and it feels like hitting a millstone. This is just crazy. Any animals that are like that today that we know of? Not to my knowledge, but again, I don't know all the animals out there, but this is not sounding like any normal animal that we know of. I don't know my biology for animals and all that. And again, as I was saying, God wouldn't ask Job these questions if Job didn't already know the answer. These are rhetorical questions. Job knows the answer to these questions. He raiseth up himself. The mighty are afraid by reason of breaking, they purify themselves. In other words, this thing gets up and mighty men are going the other way. Um, I don't think too many animals would make mighty men go the other way nowadays. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold. The spear, the dart, nor harbinger. In other words, no spear's gonna do a thing. No dart's gonna do a thing. Nothing you got's gonna do a thing. He esteems iron as straw. Okay, how easy is straw to break to you and me? How easy is iron to break? Not that easy. This creature considers iron no different than we would consider straw. For sure, I don't know no animal like that. Or brass as rotten wood. You can break up rotten wood easy. Brass, not so easy. So again, this is not a creature that we know but Job did. So again, to me, whatever this is describing, it is some sort of dinosaur. They did not have the word dinosaur back then, so you can't expect it to be put there. Dinosaur was only come up with the word 200 years ago. In King James, this was written like 400 years ago, 200 years before that word was even come up with. So, the arrows cannot make him flee. Sling stones are with turned with him into stubble. In other words, he just fluffs off slings, arrows. They're nothing. As if you didn't even hit him. The darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. These great weapons of the day, the thing just like, whatever. Stop bothering me, mosquitoes. Sharp stones are under him. He speareth sharp pointed things upon the mirror. Okay. I'm gonna go back to here. Oh, sorry. Did not want 42. Just going back to the NIV. Yeah. It's a little easier to read. I just wanted to get a little bit of the. I don't know. Can you fill it with harpoons or its head of fishing spears? If you lay a hand on it, you remember blah blah blah. Who has a claim against me that I must pay? Everything under heaven belongs to me. Its back has Rose's shield tightly sealed together. Each is so close to the next that no air can pass between them. They are joined fast to one another. They cling. His eyes like the ray dawn. Blah blah blah. Its breath sets its goal. Rotten. Okay, here's where arrows do not make it flee. Sling stones are like chaff to it. A club seems to it like a piece of straw. It laughs at the rattling of the lance. Its undersides are jagged pot shards, leaving a trail of mud liking a threshing sled. In other words, somehow it makes some sort of trail as it walks because of its underbelly. um, it makes the depths churn like a boiling cauldron. In other words, this thing can boil water by breathing its fire into it, being in the water and breathing it. It leaves a glistening wake behind it. No one would think the deep had white hair. Nothing on earth is its equal. Okay, this thing, as I just said, nothing on earth is its equal. I don't know what this. Just trying to see. This one doesn't say what it's supposed to be, but it leaves glistening. Nothing. It's a creature without fear. It looks down on all that are haughty. It is king over all that are proud. Okay. So that is it. I'm not sure what you think of these animals, but to me, these are like, I think they, though I think the first one, Behemoth, is most likely a Brachiosaurus, as I think is now called. I think we used to call it a bro. But I'm not sure the real reason. Leviathan, I don't know what dinosaur it would be considered, but it certainly doesn't sound like anything that we know of today. But obviously, Job knew of these two creatures because God wouldn't ask him questions about these creatures that he knew nothing about. You know, God's trying to make a point to him. You don't make a point to somebody by asking them questions that they don't know anything about. So, to me, this points to dinosaurs in the Bible. And as I said before, the word dinosaur was also only come up with like 200 years ago. The most likely, some people have theorized, and I think it's a pretty good theory, that there are other dinosaurs possibly in the Bible, maybe not described quite as this, but they weren't called dinosaurs because, as I said, this was written like 400 years ago, 200 years before the word dinosaur was made up. Thus, you can't have that word there, at least in the King James, because that's not what they called beasts like this, back then. Or especially in 2,000 years ago, or more than 2,000 years ago, when these scriptures were written. You can't write it. You can't say stuff like that. Like most people, the theory is, to get on with it, is dragon. Back then they were called dragons. So take it in Revelation, there's a verse that says, the great red dragon. Well, when they're translating it, the King James, 400 years ago, they can't say the great red dinosaur because the word dinosaur hadn't even been invented yet. So, but most people think the word dinosaur and dragon are basically the same. Or they think the creatures that they call dinosaurs or dragons is what we would call dinosaurs nowadays, or at least most of them, anyways. Great, terrible lizards. Well, what are dragons? Great, terrible lizards. Well, that's the way we picture a lot of them, except for the snake-like one. Um, so I guess that's all I have to say about the scripture. So I guess I will move on to my drawing stuff. Hello to third person coming in. Okay, it's not showing me who the participants are. All right. Oh well. Okay, so okay. Normally I do two characters, as you know, one good, one bad. Okay, third person went away. This is Mammoth. She is a villain, and her power is she can grow to immense size. And also, sort of hot keeping with Are you the other person watching me? Yeah. How are you? Okay, so we have a third person. It's me, Moon. So we will give me this. How long have you been watching? How long have you been watching? Oh, maybe you're the third person that came in and then the second person left. I don't know. Have you been watching through my whole Bible reading or not? But when you first said that, I didn't know what. Okay, just me and me murder. Sorry about all that. I'm just. Yeah, that's good. I don't know too much about Mammoth. I had the character, well, I had the name for quite some time. And I know DC's got a character named Mammoth too, but their Mammoth is going to be different than mine, or is different than mine. Mine is a woman, theirs is a guy. I mean, mine is a woman, theirs is a guy. Uh, Theirs is just a big, strong, and theirs is just a big, strong guy. You know, built like a brick house. Where mine, on the other hand, well, I wouldn't say she's built like a brick house of any type, but she grows to huge mammoth proportions. Talked to my mom on the chat, but she's listening on our TV through a Roku device. And it doesn't exactly allow you to chat, it just allows you to watch. Not that she'd actually want to chat, especially when she's in the next room. If she wanted to chat, she'd just come in here. Not that I'm saying come in here. Should be distracting. It seemed like Mike's house. Except it wouldn't be kids, it would be parents. Oh. So I'm gonna, well, do the characters that I'm doing. And try and finish up the ones. The ones from yesterday. Should have, hopefully I'll have time because I am going to be on with Action Artist today. Somewhere between 4 and 5. Coloring this one should be fairly easy though. Even drawing it's fairly easy. Or re-going over my lines more accurately. These people come in. Tried doing this just talking to myself. Not even talking to myself. My mom watching me on my other YouTube channel is nice, I guess. The view in there. People who are listening after the fact, remember this. I'm not having problems like I did on Monday. I'm back at home doing my live streams. I'm not at my church or anywhere else. I'm back at home where my internet is stable and I am in a good place to do internet and do my live stream. So you don't have to worry about all the problems that we would have had Monday, August the 12th or 13th. So don't worry about coming in and my chats. Remember, Monday through Saturday, noon, high noon. Shut her down, y'all. Or a lion leaves. I can't remember the Carmen song. Ballot, whatever. Okay, so there we have Mammoth. Probably just my stream that showed up watching, so. But if you're somebody new, hello. Just say something in the chat if you can. Much appreciated, yeah. Cancel. Undim that. Yeah, so this isn't, like I said, Mammoth. She is a villain who has the ability to supersize herself. I'm not sure what her hair color is. I don't know my color is, so I'm just gonna end up making something up. So we basically got this down. I'm just gonna take out the bottom layer because I don't need it. Right. No, I think I'm gonna go with a nice, lovely blue. Oh, goodness me. So there we have it. This is Mammoth. Oh, Silver Illustrator. Oh, oh. Okay, folks, if you may or may not remember, a while back I told you about a uh, uh, angel team I had called Forever. Well, this is one of the members. This is Big Boy. And again, he is a size shifter. He goes, I'm not sure what his normal height is, but he goes big. I think he can get like up to 100 feet tall. I did write some stuff down somewhere about him. But you do not want to mess with the big boy. But what makes him grow is the question. No, it's not rage. No, it's love. Unless I'm thinking of another character of mine. When you have a few hundred characters, sometimes you get them mixed up, especially when you have some that are more popular than others in your own mind, anyways. Hello to whomever has come into the chat or my to view my live stream. I just noticed you there. If you want to ask me anything, you can. No, I'm not Jamaican. I'm just doing an accent for some reason. It's just something I do from time to time to amuse myself. This is Big Boy. He is an angel in the Crossverse of Cross Comics. I use the name Crossverse, combine universe with Cross, the beginning of what my comics are called, to say I have a Crossverse. No different than DC's doing saying the DC universe or the Marvel universe, except I just more personalize it. He is a size changer He can grow. I'm not sure how tall his tallest thing is. And, and I might be confusing him with one of my other characters, but I think the thing that gets him to grow, I think I am, is love. The overwhelming love for people. But actually, I don't think that's him. I think that's one of my other characters. I mean, you got a lot of characters. Sometimes it's hard to keep track, especially the ones that you don't think about a lot because you're trying to work on the ones that you want to get going. And there goes our third person. So it's back to me and my mom watching on my TV. Or she's watching on my TV. He should be fairly easy to color as well. And then we'll go finish up Hyperspeed and not Hyperspeed. Jane Prayer. I'll look up in my files here what her color of eye is, if I have it written down. One day I might show you guys all my not so big operation. Show you the not secret, so secret headquarters of Cross Comics. I talked about, yeah, Insecto, Canadian Shield. And I think Snowdrift last week. Hey, my mom is gone, or I'm gone. Gotta love the bat, the whatever club. Hello to whomever has come into the room. Don't think it's my mother. How are you on this bright and wonderful day? Or hopefully it's bright and wonderful to you. Hopefully you don't leave me. I like people in the chat um, talking to my audience. Although sometimes they can't talk back for whatever reason. Sometimes you have just on a Ruco device on your TV. And it doesn't allow you to chat. Just allows you to watch. Right, so could probably spike this out a lot more, but I'm not going to. I'm going to get on with the regular drawing of Big Boy. And he will be a big boy. Holy night. Well, whoever you are, somewhere between 4 and 5 this afternoon, I will be on a guy's named Action Artist site, and we will be chatting together. So if you want to check that out, Christianity, comics, whatever else that comes up. Also, I try to do a live stream Monday through Saturday at noon. This last week it was a little hard. I was helping out at my church at VBS. My Monday stream got a bit miffed. Then I was able to somewhat do pretty good the next few days, except Tuesday I forgot my stylus for my white walk-on tablet so I could draw into my stuff like this. But Wednesday and Thursday went well. Yesterday, well, I wasn't at VBS. My mom had had to have surgery for a her eye for cataract, so I had to be there, make sure she got home and all that. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Don't blah blah blah. And I will be trying to stream on. Well, I will be streaming on Sundays. It probably will not be at noon because I go to church and well, I'm still there at noon. And still teaching the kids and all that because I help out in children's ministry. So hopefully around, I don't know, 3 or 4, maybe a little later. Just have to watch. I'll put up some sort of thing at half an hour before I go live here on YouTube. So if you're subscribed and got notification, you will be able to hopefully see that will be going live in half an hour to an hour. Because I'll put the time up when I'm supposed to, and I'm usually good for that. Like I said, this week, a couple times I said noon, and I was like 5, maybe 10 minutes late. People who can't keep schedules. I do hope you're liking the drawing. If you are, might think of smashing that like button. If you've yet to subscribe, maybe think of hitting the subscribe button, or if you're already subscribed, maybe even think of hitting the notification button. That way you know when I'm putting up stuff. And if you do have chat capability and like to ask me a question, feel free. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I guess I decided to take the idea of a minotaur. The different imagery has been in the Bible too. I think about angels having bull heads, so I figured why not make one for my cross comics universe. I didn't give him too interesting of a name. He's called Big Boy. Cause he's a big, big boy living in a small, small world. Oh yeah. Oh, we can do a couple lines in the tail. I do this so I can color him good. So made it. Hopefully, as long as our lines are good, all attached, coloring should be fairly easy. So we'll undim him so we can get the correct colors. They look more vibrant like that too. So let's see, we'll go over to gradient. Take, say, the purple, put it down there in the middle, change that to black because I sort of like the black edging. This to about 21%. To the other side. Okay, that's good. 80. It's close to the 21. So then we just take that, put it in there. Grab the blue. Now we all have to do is bring it in there, and we still have everything where it was. So then we orangey or yellowish, gold, whatever. Take the gray. I'll probably end up seeing more black here, but so I might change this slightly. You know what? I'm gonna change this one. I'm gonna I know blue is sometimes a lot of times what professionals use, so they can use it, so can I. That doesn't good. Need to do the kneecap. So when I'm done here, maybe think checking out my other content. I got lots of other content. I've got we got close to 50 videos or more on this channel. Oh, shoot. I have to bring that in there to do this. Make it look. I gotta redo that bat club at some point. I don't like its look. It's too short for him, in my opinion. And it's really whacked there. Oh well. Nothing that well. I guess there's stuff I could do about it right here, right now, but I'm not going to. I want to. I got another character from yesterday that I was supposed to do that I'd like to do for you. Well, two. Well, finish up one from yesterday, which I basically just need to do the eye color on it. And then do the other character that I wanted to do yesterday, but didn't for. Oh, what's that? I put the bull type eyes in this. I forgot. For my angels, I do not have. They do not have pupils. Their eyes are just whatever color. Except for. Okay, so I can take the bottom layer out of here because. Oh no, I can't. I just need to get one more color. Okay, now I can take out the bottom layer. Because it's just now coloring in these spikes. And his mouth and all that. And will be taking commissions now, I guess. I started thinking about it. So if you want me to draw one of my characters, another character, I'll do a headshot, whatever, for full body for like 25 bucks. I know I'm cheap. I know I'm not the best artist out there, but I'm also not the worst. You can contact me on here through discussion or whatever. Or comment on the video and I'll get back to you. I'm usually pretty good at getting back to people in like less than 24 hours, usually less than that too. Yeah, so So there you have it. Big boy. He's a big boy living in a small world, which is not a small world after all. Okay, so chain prayer from yesterday. We just need to do some eye color here. I'm just gonna. Oh, brown. Okay, so she is now done. That's all I had to do from yesterday. Oh man, but I didn't want to get up and look. Yes. Save over top. Okay, so this is Bat Black. She is part of a two-person team. I think it's her and her twin brother, if I remember correctly. They have different skills. One trained to be a ninja, the other trained to be samurai, sort of like that. Yin and yang, almost. Okay, yeah, we can settle for that. Definitely thank you for coming in and watching, wherever you are. I may or may not have already said, I am me and Action Artist on his channel. We're going to be getting together around 4 or 5. Gotta narrow it down still. Somebody like to comment on mine over on Mike S. Miller's channel. Like listening to him a lot. Listen to Ethan Van Sciver too, a bit. Mitch is a bit boring for me, and he doesn't seem to have a show every day. He talked about me being the morning person, but because all these other guys were at night. Well, I'm the noon person, as I probably after the 66-day challenge is done, I'm gonna change the name of the show to the 66-day challenge. I'm gonna put some more stuff in that too. Wonder if this is Mike Miller watching. It'd be nice if he was. Wherever you are, I hope you're liking what you're seeing. Definitely not doing my best job here. Okay. Somebody's gone? No, it's just me by myself yet again. I don't even know when you left. No chat going on. Don't end up paying attention to that stuff. So just me here again, folks. Well, you didn't see the other Well, you may or may not. I don't think it would have seen anybody. I don't think it shows. It just says somebody viewed. Doesn't say show viewed. But you heard me talking about somebody. But oh, hello, whoever has come into this chat of mine or this live stream. Not sure whether you were the same person as earlier who was in. But glad to see you. I'm not sure whether I should go over my whole whatever or not. Well, if you want to ask me anything, feel free. Said I'm not sure whether you were in the person in the chat earlier who was saying nothing or not. But this character is Bat Black, part of a pair that is a crime, not fighting, a crime committing duo. So that is her outline. Not too long to do that. Coloring should take even less. So we will expand the appearance. Make it. Because you need to make it or break it. We undim. Move over there. Okay, we'll go for the black. Or no, we'll go for no the gray. We went for the gray. Don't feel gray. Don't feel blue. Okay, we have this line there that we need missed. Oh well, we'll get to that in a moment. We get the rest of these colors in. I'm not sure whoever you are. Almost done here. But I was going to say I will be on the Action Artist Spiral Comics. Um, YouTube channel. Between 4 and 5, we will be starting. One together on his channel. Um, so feel free to tune in. Okay, so this can be, one layer can be taken out completely. Delete. So zoom in. Switch to a brush. Sure. Not sure whether we're at 1 or 2. There. Expand. Right. So there you have Bat Black. Um, Part of a crime committing duo. Um, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you've yet to subscribe. Um, Hit the notification. That way you know when I'm putting up more content. Or going to be doing a live stream. Check out my other content. Share, comment in the comment section. I am on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram under Cross Comics for each of them. So you can get me on there. Check out my other channel, The Pied Piper of Hamilton. It's got lots of good content. I do some drawings on there, but they're just mainstream characters. This is all my own characters on this channel. Although I do some minor movie reviews and stuff like that. Stuff to do with other comics too. It's a comic channel, mainly about my comics, but want to engage everybody. So I hope you've had a good, and I am on Action Artist Comics later today between 4 and 5. We are supposed to be starting our live stream. So, sorry guys. Sorry, Matt, cousin. I was using. If you're still here, I was using. My chat wasn't for some reason not working on my thing, my tablet. I don't know why. I was using Adobe Illustrator. Are you still there, Matt? Okay. Sorry. As I was just saying, I have my tablet on for my chats, but it wasn't obviously not showing them because I did not see a thing. Okay, I got it back up now. So, but yeah, I was using Adobe Illustrator for that. Um, so yeah. Anything else you want to know? Have you subbed to my channel yet? I think you have, but not sure. Thanks for hitting that thumbs up button. I think it was you. Yeah, so I have a live stream every day here at noon Eastern Standard Time. So, or that's what I'm trying to do, Eastern Standard Time. I read a passage of the Bible. Um, something I listen to. I'm not sure whether you listen to Mike S. Miller or Ethan, but I was on Mike's thing the other day, and well, more than the other day, but he was reading some stuff for how to get a better YouTube audience, and or not better, but or get a YouTube audience. But it was saying about doing stuff you love, live stream a lot, So I was doing a little bit of live streaming, but I decided I'm gonna do it for the next 66 days, and I started out. I read out from a verse from the Bible, go all the way through every 66 books, all the 66 books. And then I go over a couple of my characters in Adobe Illustrator, go from that flat looking to the better looking, as you saw there. So, uh, not sure whether you've checked out any of my other content, but feel free to do so. Not that you would. And I do have another channel, Pied Piper of Hamilton. I do some stuff around Hamilton and all that. Um, I have this playlist called Canadian Snack Videos on it. Basically, I'm not sure whether you've seen these on YouTube. People exchanging boxes of different snacks from different countries. Well, I couldn't really do that at the time, so I thought, why not just, you know, I'll I got all four of those. Try and tune in next time. I know, do an accidental. But whenever you get in, you get in. And hopefully my chat will be working better. Um, yeah, but I do a whole bunch of, I've got like over 30 videos of me reviewing different Canadian snacks. A lot would be you'd know of being in the States. Me, Canada and the States have a lot similar. Sometimes they're under a different name, but they can be interesting. Some of them. Thanks. So how is your time going? You got a table at Alpha this year, Alpha Omega Con? Because it was you that was beside me last year at Alpha Omega Con, right? Or am I confusing you with somebody else? uh, I got a table there, but I have no way to get there. And I got real no much product to sell than I did last year. I was hoping things would go a lot bit better in between last year and this year, but things are not going as well as I hope. Well, they weren't. Now they're going all right. Yeah, is it Detroit? There's supposed to be another small one, Christian one, your Comic Con. It was supposed to be in July. It got moved to November. Christian Comic Con there too. Yeah, I just happened to come across it. I think on Facebook. It's your comic. Probably if you went to a search engine, typed in your Comic Con, you can, and then they have different ones in different cities. They're not all Christian, but or they don't say they're all Christian. One says Christian Comic Con, so I'm assuming it's Christian with the name. And this is its like first year too, so cool. Yeah, you live out. You live what in San Diego? I think I remember. That's where Mark. Sorry, not Mark. Mike S. Miller lives. He has a channel. He's Christian too. I'm not sure whether you watch his channel or not. He's pretty good. His channel. He's got his own book started called Lone Star. If you did not know already, it's part of a big. I'm not sure whether you've heard of Comicsgate. Thing. He's one of the bigger people in it, as well as Ethan Van Sciver. And if you want to maybe do a vid chat here, if you can. He wasn't on Kickstarter. He was on Indiegogo. If you want to hit the link, we could do the vid back and forth. Make it easier. I think that'll allow you to. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe in a few months if I can get 1,000 subscribers on here and stuff and redo some of my artwork on my first one. When I do that, you can I'll might send you the link again so you can download it and read it again with the better artwork. I'm going over a lot of it in Illustrator there, redoing my backgrounds and all that, making the Canadian shield more to the size that I want them. I'm thinking trying to do an Indiegogo again. Well, I haven't done Indiegogo. I did a Kickstarter. Okay. Do. So have you met Mike personally or just know of him? And I don't mean meeting him at a Comic Con at his table. That's meeting him. Yeah, his made not too bad, almost 75 grand. But Ethan Van Sciver's, wham, over half a million, 538,000, I think. Wouldn't it be nice to make that from one single comic book? Making 75 grand from one single comic book would be good too. I'll try. I'll try what? Try the link? Yeah. Oh, no problem. I'm doing it through I'm in Google Chrome doing it, so my Firefox doesn't have it. So, and they want me to update my Firefox to get it, but I don't want to. Okay, no problem. Yeah, yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, my Firefox wants me to upgrade to a new version to get it, but I don't want to do that because the newer version doesn't use the FTP, the Fire FTP that I use to work on my website when I do. So I can, do the change of the page and just upload it. No problem about that. You don't have Hangouts, you don't have it. Can't work with it. I get it. No problem. I just figured it might be easier than, like the 10-15 second delay in between. Or longer, depending on whatever. Yeah, he definitely seems like a nice guy. You have to, not sure whether he sort of knows who I am because he actually remembers that I'm Canadian. I've been in his thing a few times. We got three people. I said three viewers here. One viewer. So maybe tell him hi from Cross Comics next time you see him. That you know me somewhat personally too. That I'm a good guy. Well, not that he wouldn't realize that already. But you never know. People can be different over chat or whatever. Oh, he's gone. Okay. So I guess that means I'm ending this. See you, people. Hopefully, Oh, ah, cool. That's neat. I was thinking of trying to give him my I'm not sure whether you heard me earlier. I got a table for there, but I have no way to get there, and just my digital product to sell and all that still. So I was thinking of trying to give him my table. It's only $50, right? If he wanted it. He's a lot closer, about as close as you. Well, as close as you. Well, depending on which part of San Diego, the different parts of San Diego you might live in. He might be a mile closer. You might be a mile closer. I haven't met too many of the big personalities in comics. I don't know why, but when I was younger, I didn't pay attention to the artists and all that who did them. I just read them. Unless something actually stood out to me, I didn't really notice the artist. Like you see an Alex Ross thing that really stands out. Now you got the opposite spectrum. I'm not sure what her name is, but the Batgirl Birds of Prey when it started out, the new one 2 years ago. That artist, oh, does not know how to draw girls. Draw Batgirl like a guy. Okay, see ya, Matt. Talk to you later. God bless. Have a great day.